Here we are in Blockhouse Bay. We are going to my parents' house for lunch, and that should be nice. Yeah, this is where I used to walk all the way up here to school every day. It's great. Nice neighbourhood. And there's our house. It's my house I grew up in. Right down. Woohoo! Here we are.
Why don't you just go?
Home sweet home.
You go in there first, and then I'll come in. Is that cool?
Sure. Here we are. About to have lunch with Mum and Dad in Blockhouse Bay in the kitchen. What do we call this room? Dining room, isn't it? Dining room that I grew up in. Grew up in a dining room.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, well,
I take it that'll be edited out. The cot was in the corner.
So what do we have here today? And is this traditional? Is
Yes.
this like a childhood favorite?
this would be sort of traditional.
Most lunches in your childhood, wouldn't it?
Yeah, which is, you get bread and then spreads and bits and pieces
And
to make
salad.
salad sandwiches.
Yeah.
And did you make this, Mum?
Yeah,
Low-cut jelly.
Low-cut jelly.
Was it low-cut or
well, it's actually crab apple.
Crab
It
apple
does the
jelly
same
made
kind
by
of
my
thing.
mum.
Yeah.
She's clever.
What's in the yellow bottle?
Yellow bottle.
This fellow. That's Australian, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
Vegemite.
Vegemite.
We still on it.
Anzac, we'll call it then.
It's Anzac.
Anzac Vegemite.
Can you tell me about Phil as a little guy? Like any favorite foods, things that he wouldn't eat, vegetables or?
You liked your dad, didn't you? He was a good guy. We used
I
to
like
have to
food.
we used to have to bribe one of the others, but no, Philip always enjoyed his food, particularly the meat. I think.
I pretty much, I always ate everything he fed me, Mum. Except for
You
when
knew
you,
you had to.
except for when you made liver one night.
Oh, did I?
You
well,
did,
that
you
was
made-
that must have been
That's for me.
the last
That would have been for me.
time.
I've
Dad
never had it
likes
since.
Really? No, and I always tried to eat, I ate everything, but I just couldn't eat that.
I don't like it either.
Sorry.
No.
Why'd you make it?
Why'd you make it?
Because I grew up on it and I conned her into making it. Well, Phil just always had a natural tendency to want to play. If he went anywhere and there was a piano, he'd start to play it. And right from very young, if we went on holiday anywhere, he'd end up in a music shop. And I remember once we went to Taupo and we're looking around the town and we lost Philip. And we found him inside the music shop in a soundproof room with a guitar playing. No intention of buying it, but just enjoying himself. And I remember another time we went past a second-hand shop and we went in and there was a guitar and Philip just started playing it and people stood out by the door and just listened to him play. And at that stage he hadn't had any lessons, he just picked it up and taught himself.
What did you think, or what were your thoughts when you saw the Newsboys play? When the first song came up and the crowd was there, I'm assuming they were getting into it and shouting and everything. And what kind of went through your mind, like watching, knowing that's your son, but it's also the Newsboys, that kind of thing?
I think it was more just the fact that he'd arrived. I mean, he had his own band in New Zealand and they'd toured for a year and run out of places to go. And then suddenly he gets this call from America and he's in it and playing in front of more people in 1 week than he's played in New Zealand in a year. And he'd sort of arrived. He's always, to us, that's his place.
I think deep down too, we had always accepted that Philip would not stay in New Zealand, that he would go to the States, but he would be somewhere else with his music because that was his
Talent.
life and his talent. Yeah. From a very young age, Philip he had a sweet nature, and he would always look out for other people. There was kind of that. He used to look after his younger brother. He enjoyed keeping an eye on him. And as he grew up, I kind of said Philip was one who had a heart for God. I think, had this openness to God. And yes, so he was well involved in the youth group and enjoyed the camps, the life. And so when he was out, this is getting into teenage years now, when he was out with them, we never really worried. Even if he was late home, there was something about Philip that he was he knew he was okay. Yes.
Over here we've got a part on the house where Phil ran into it on the little mini bike we used to have. Oh, what age were you, Phil? What age were you with that mini bike? About 8, 7 or 8, I suppose?
No, I would have been like 10.
Were you?
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been 10.
Yeah. Well,
Let's take a look.
Where the bite is out of the house.
That chunk.
That's Phil's bike.
The New Zealand weather system, it's always pretty mild. It's never extremely hot, it's never extremely cold, at least in Auckland. And, we should have parked there. Anyway, so you can sit outside and dine all year round. And so we have a lot of sort of cafe, we have a large sort of cafe society, on the street dining type thing, which is always good, makes for kind of a good social atmosphere in the city. We're a social bunch. We like our coffee. We like our good food. We should be a lot larger. What do you think?
How many kiwis in the basket?
4 million. 4 million New Zealanders. That's all we have. Each one of them count. Oh! Stick shift. Here we are at Circus Cafe on the corner of my old street. Used to live just up the street before I came to join the Newsboys. And actually it was up here at this place where the phone call came through 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, can you play bass? Sure. And got on an aeroplane the next day and the rest is history. Yeah. So I'm reminiscing over a nice flat white, this is quite possibly the best cup of coffee in the world. If you like coffee and you want the best cup of coffee in the world, right here, Circus.
So we're here in Auckland, and we got a couple Newsboys fans here. They just spotted Phil at the coffee shop. Tell us what's up, what's going on. You heard he's playing?
Yeah, well, he's coming to our church on Sunday. He's doing all 3 services, preaching and performing, so we're pretty excited about that. And he's also doing the Noise Conference on South Auckland, so it's going to be awesome. There's big news, there's big billboards up all over town, so yeah, everyone's pretty excited, everyone's pretty pumped, eh?
Do you have a favorite Newsboy song?
You have a favorite Newsboy song, bro?
What's my favorite? Probably, I can't remember anything.
Like Shine or...
Nah, it's one off the older album. I like the older album, yeah.
Do you remember how it goes? Can you sing it?
I've got the whole album. I'm not a singer. No, I can't sing it.
It's so funny. Like the guy I lived with before I got the call to come over and be in the States, just like he's here. It's so, it looks like a setup, but it ain't.
We actually went through high school together, so that was how we actually kind of got to know each other. Phil was this kind of slightly long-haired guy who would just parade across the school grounds, and we had this drum shed at school, and I just heard him playing guitar in there sometime, and thought, oh, that sounds pretty cool. So we just kind of, became mates, really. And so a few years later, when Phil, obviously being a musician, had no place to stay, hey, come on.
This is where Bruce and I used to live before I got that phone call, 3 o'clock in the morning. And
You got that phone call while you were here?
yes, 3 o'clock in the morning.
You got
And
it.
then the next day I bought a ticket and jumped on an airplane to join the circus. The Newsboys, rather. Yeah, and you still got some of my stuff, right?
No.
So this is
is rather scary at night.
You don't want to be coming down here late at night.
And that cat's still there. It's the same one.
cat.
Oh, the cat doesn't want you to go.
I'm not sure.
Phil, you're at home.
This is our apartment.
That's right.
And yeah, actually it was really Bruce's apartment, but he graciously allowed me to stay with him. And really, it was kind of like musicians support group, really, wasn't it?
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Many nights by the fire. But unfortunately, I probably can't go in there now because I don't have the key anymore. I'm on the other side. But yeah, this was it. This was it.
It looks just the same.
Hey, bro. Go, mate.
This little mountain is actually an inactive volcano. It's Mount Eden, and yeah, could blow at any moment, just like me. So here we go, heading on out to Piha. I left my heart in Piha, on the west coast of New Zealand. Don't you worry, here I come. Don't you worry. Okay. Alright, buckle up, Dave. This is the long and winding road, alright? Yeah, it's obviously quite a windy road, can be a dangerous road, but you know, I've driven it a number of times, so that still didn't stop me sliding off this road once. So I did flip a car. I flipped my first car off this street and down into the bush. Actually, I should have been dead from that. I wasn't. I lived. I don't know why. Honestly, you know, angels. That's all I can say, because I shouldn't have been alive from that. And here I am riding with Phil Joel of the Newsboys, 8-time car roller. Why's the windshield fogging up? I'm nervous. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Stop breathing so heavy. You'll be fine. Jesus loves me, this I know. This is Piha Beach, and that's where I stay when I'm here in New Zealand, and this is where we're going to stay tonight. And this, in the middle of the beach, this big rock is called Lion Rock, and you can kind of get a vague idea. It's like a lion sitting down. You see that? Or maybe it's just our imaginations, but it looks like a lion. And you can climb to the top of that. It's kind of fun. And obviously it's a surf beach, you can surf, but it's just definitely very rugged sort of beauty here, and very unspoiled. On the weekends, during the weeknights, we just get in the family van and come down the beach, and we play here in the river like these kids are doing, and we'd surf, boogie board, bodyboard, and then after a while, you know, as a teenager, you sort of figure out that boogie boarding isn't cool, and you buy a surfboard, and and that's what happened to me. And so I'd surf out here, and yeah, come and just hang out and enjoy the summer here. And so this whole area, this is a real special place in my heart, you know. This whole place is one big secret, and we like to keep it that way. So I don't know why we're filming this stuff. That's enough.
If you have a faith in God and you're just kind of coasting along, you know, not really making a connection, then perhaps this website might help you along with that. DeliberatePeople.com, and the album, deliberately made. Every song seems to have a purpose and it comes from the heart. If you want to check that album out, go to the CD and DVD store this weekend. It's just $21.95, and alongside that you get a $5 voucher as well. Just because I can.
Always nice to come home and have your album at
Newsboys.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Album of the week. Can't complain, can we? It's alright. when I left high school, early. So yeah, I guess I'd be what in America we'd consider I'd be considered a high school dropout. I left school when I turned 16, and I pursued a hairdressing apprenticeship, which takes 4 years to become a hairdresser in New Zealand. And I did my apprenticeship here in Remuera, and at the salon that we are approaching here pretty soon. Hi. I used to work here. Oh, you're there? Yeah. And this is my friend, and I just kind of am showing him around, and he's sort of filming stuff from where I used to be. I used to wash people's hair right here, and then the rest of it. Hey, I'll see if I can show you with some scissors how cool I am. Want a little snip? Right here, yeah. Anyway, that's past life. Can we go have a look at the staff room?
Yeah.
This is our staff room, and come here and make people coffee and generally just hang out in between clients. Yeah. And when we were learning how to do hair, we would use this little team of people, and
There's
yeah.
Jeff, Duncan, Paul. I don't see Peter. Any disaster stories? Someone asked for a brunette, they come out red.
yeah, lots of disasters happened in this room due to these hands. And I think there's still a few people out there that are mad at me, so we won't go into it, alright? Let's get out of here. Let's go. Yeah, so these are the classrooms. This is my primary school. Primary school is elementary school here in which would be the British education system. Here, this classroom over here, is actually where I became a Christian, where I first asked the Lord into my life. This room right here, room 2. Yeah, that's over here. Yep. So she gave a little gospel presentation, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Is it a Christian school?
No, this is public school, but they allowed people to come in and talk about Jesus, and so this lovely lady did, and yeah, presented the gospel, and I accepted Christ in there as a little kid, 8 years old. Yeah, so special place in my heart, this little room.